Today, we're going to be looking at quite possibly one of the saddest console fanboys of all time. Like, this guy literally has nothing going on in his life. All he does is sits on the internet and calls people who play on Xbox peasants. So I managed to find this very intelligent individual when I was casually scrolling through Twitter, and I decided to check out his account, and it turns out this guy has to be one of the saddest fanboys of all time. Like, I would genuinely be surprised if this guy left his house once during the last 3 years. Now, I'm not actually going to drop his account name because that could go against YouTube terms of service, and I'm too lazy to check if it does, to be honest, so let's just go ahead and jump into some of his tweets. Actually, scrap that idea. Let's go ahead and take a look at his bio first. So his bio here says, Japan and Asia hate Xbox. Game Pass is for poor people. Xbox has no true exclusives. Xbox is going third party. When Xbox dies, we all win, and the stupid fucking emoji after it. Now, there was a certain word that popped in my head to describe this guy while reading his bio. Loser! Alrighty then, now we can jump into his tweets. Xbox is going third party. Behind the scenes, at Xbox has already thrown in the towel. Hashtag Japan hates Xbox, and he put a little meme there saying, when Xbox dies, we all win. What do you win exactly? Loser of the fucking week? Loser! Clown of the month? Bootlicker of the year? But if you thought that was pathetic, wait until you see the next tweet he made. So you're gonna need a bit of background information before we see the tweet. Basically, there's been a Wolverine leak recently. Basically, a brand new PlayStation game is being developed. It's a Wolverine game, and it got leaked recently. And a guy by the name of PC Focus basically started sharing the news around. He reposted it or whatever. And this fanboy, he had to jump to Sony's defense. He could not have his precious Sony game get leaked. So he tweeted this pathetic tweet. Hey, at Insomniac Games, at Sony, at Marvel Studios, the user at PC Focus is sharing your stolen property online. Just thought you should know. Anything I can do to help him get arrested and banned from Twitter, let me know. This motherfucker saw the billion-dollar corporation get their game leaked, and he decided to sprint across the battlefield with his sword and shield in hand to defend Sony's honor. Not only that, but you're openly being a snitch, which is a loser trait. Loser! Now, we all know deep down in our hearts why he's doing this. He's upset because he does not own a PlayStation or PC. Therefore, he cannot play the leak. Another equally pathetic, well, no, I'm not going to say equally pathetic, because there is nothing on this planet more pathetic than what I just read. Almost as pathetic, I should say, is this tweet right here. Hashtag Xbox, Series S, and Game Pass, in quotations, welfare pass, are for poor people. That's it. That's the tweet. So apparently, because I have Game Pass, because it's an easy way to try out games, I don't want to just buy the game. Sometimes I just want to check out new games. Because I bought that for it's only $20 a month. I am fucking poor. Game Pass is such a good deal that it's literally the reason I have a Series X. I have it for Game Pass. Also, when did good money management skills and, using your money wisely, taking up good offers, when did that become a quote-unquote poor people thing to do? Being smart with your money now makes you fucking poor, apparently. This guy also decided to fire at the PC gamers with this tweet right here. Oh, one more thing. PC gamers who steal Nintendo Switch games and, quote, emulate them via Yuzu or any similar pirate tool. By the way, Yuzu is not a fucking pirate tool, you moron. Also deserve prison time. You PC gamers are completely useless, unwanted, hated scum in this industry. Why not just get another hobby? You low-down thieves. Alright, that was pretty pathetic. I have a few things I want to say about this. First of all, Yuzu is simply an emulator for the Nintendo Switch. It does not pirate anything. It simply allows you to play Nintendo Switch games, which you can redump and play emulated 100% legally. Second of all, you call PC gamers useless scum. I find that funny because every single video game in the world is designed on a PC. Without PC, there would be no video games. The games are made on PC and then ported over to console. And the cherry on top of this shit sundae of a tweet, why don't you get another hobby? The grown man who sits on Twitter all day long, arguing and defending a plastic box, is telling other people to get a hobby. Jesus Christ, dude. This guy alone is the reason our average IQ is now in the double digits. You thought that was bad? Well, it goes even deeper. So, as a lot of you know, the world is in a terrible place financially right now. People are struggling more than ever. People are just having a rough time, man. Inflation's through the roof. So some parents aren't going to be able to afford to drop $700 here in Canada anyway on a brand new Xbox Series X or PS5, so they might go with the Series S for their child. Well, apparently, according to this fanboy, if you do that, if you work your fucking ass off and you buy your child a Series S with Game Pass so that he can play some games, apparently you are breaking that child's heart. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Look at the tweet. So there's a video down below which basically shows a obviously scripted video where a guy gets sad because he got a Series S instead of a PS5 or a Series X, I don't know. And this guy uses the opportunity to jump on the fucking console wars, and he goes, "Reminder, we are 1 week out for Christmas and only bad parents and failures buy their kids. Hashtag Xbox Series X," with the stupid fucking emojis. Don't break a child's heart on Christmas. The memory of receiving Series S is a reminder that a child comes from a low-income household. Don't do this to your kids. Now that we're speaking about getting children gifts, never reproduce, dude. So this guy thinks that if you go out and spend like $300 to buy your child an Xbox Series S and Game Pass, you do that for your child, it means you are a failure and are in a low-income household. No, a failure as a parent is a parent who is abusive, a parent that leaves their child, people like that. Not the parent who went out and spent like $300 to buy their child a gaming console with Game Pass so they can play some games. You are delusional. There is absolutely nothing wrong with going out and buying your child a Series S for Christmas, dude. I mean, shit, dude. The only real difference with the X and the S is the X can play disc games. People like this are the reason I will never spoil my child if I have children, dude. Because unfortunately, sometimes when you spoil your child, they end up growing up to act like this. As someone who was kind of spoiled as a child, I mean, I don't know if I was really spoiled. I got my gaming PC for Christmas one year. I am so happy I did not end up being one of these people that looks down on others because they have less money than you. That is such a pathetic mindset. I have infinitely more respect for the father that goes out there, works his ass off at a minimum wage job, starts doing overtime and all that so he can get his child a Series S. I respect that person so much more than the guy who has a ton of money that sits at home and argues with 45-year-old men about plastic boxes on the internet, calling people poor. Alright, that was possibly one of the worst things I've ever read. Let's move on. Great to see Sony and Koei Tecmo, I don't know if I'm saying that right, probably not, working together more and more closely. Nothing would make me happier than never seeing another Koei Tecmo game on Xbox. Team Ninja, of course, hates Xbox, as does Tecmo. Looking forward to the rise of Rodden. Imagine for a second, the most exciting thing in your life is the fact that other people cannot play a video game because they play on a different plastic box than you. Can you imagine that being you? I can't imagine, dude. Oh, another post about the Series S. Dude, like, you claim to hate Xbox, but you talk about it every single chance you get. You're obsessed with it. Hell, you spend more time talking about how much you hate the Xbox rather than playing games on your PlayStation. Alright, let's read this dumpster fire. If you own hashtag Xbox Series S, you are poor, you don't value games, your opinion on games is irrelevant, you aren't a real gamer, you didn't do market research before buying. You have been ripped off plus made a fool of. Xbox Series S owners aren't welcome in this hobby. Alright, so I'm gonna break down his points one by one. The first point he made is that if you own a Series S, you are apparently poor. Well, clearly they aren't that poor if they're willing to go out and spend $300, $400 on basically a toy. The second point he made is that if you own an Xbox Series S, You don't value games, which makes no sense at all. How does a person who owns an Xbox Series S so they can play games, how does that person value games less than the person who bought a Series X to play games? Those same games. That literally makes no sense at all. The next point he made is that if you own a Series S, your opinion on games doesn't matter at all. Ah yes, my opinion does not matter because some 45-year-old man on the internet said it doesn't matter. Are you the gaming guardian? Like, what the fuck? Are you the software samurai? Who are you to tell other people that their opinion on games doesn't matter because they have a Series S? The next point you made is that if you buy a Series S, you aren't a real gamer. I mean, dude, you're a geek. Only geeks say shit like that. The next point he made is that if you own a Series S, you didn't do market research before buying. How would you know? Were you in their vents when they ordered it? Were you just like watching them go on their phone and order their Series S? How the hell would you know if they did research or not? The next point he made is that you have been ripped off / made a fool of. Couple things I want to point out here. First of all, how have you been ripped off? You went out and bought a console for like $300, bought a Game Pass subscription, which I think starts out at like $1, and got access to hundreds and hundreds of games to play. So apparently because you went out and bought a cheaper console so that you can access hundreds and hundreds of games with Game Pass, apparently because you did that instead of paying for each individual game, you have been ripped off, which I mean, isn't that kind of the opposite? Whatever. Why do I even argue with people like this? It's not like they're smart enough to know why I'm right. The last point you made is basically they're a fool if they bought the Series S, and the self-awareness could not be any lower, my man. Before I wrap up this video, I want to play a little game. Who is the fool in this situation? The person who went out and bought an Xbox for a really good price, and probably bought Game Pass so they can access hundreds of games at a really good price. That person who's probably enjoying their Xbox right now, having a great time. You know, maybe they're playing, I don't know, one of the Doom games. Is that person the fool? Or the grown man who really likes PlayStation, who went out and bought a PlayStation, but doesn't play on his PlayStation, but instead sits on Twitter, cries all day, and makes himself look like an idiot? I don't know, you tell me. So, what did we learn today? We learned that if you own a Series X, you're broke, you're poor, you're a peasant, a plebeian. If you have Game Pass, you're poor. If you are a PC gamer, you are scum, filth, I mean. Bro. In case I don't make another video before 2024, I just want to say thanks for all the support you guys have given this year. It's been crazy, dude. It's been a lot of fun, and I plan on continuing doing this for as long as I can. Alright, peace. Loser!